Hi, it's Allison, and we're just being real today. I'm in a weird, different setup, and I don't have any makeup on. I didn't wash my hair today. This is what's happening, because I need to do my stupid March wrap-up, and I haven't filmed a video in like 2 weeks, something like that. Anyway, it's time. March was definitely a better reading month than February, but it still wasn't as much as I wanted to read. But I feel like I never read as much as I want to read, so whatever. It's like, can it even be done? I don't know. But the first book I finished this month was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I finished the audiobook again, and obviously I loved it. At long last, I have completed the Harry Potter series, and I'm very happy to be in the club. It was so good. I finished it at the very beginning of the month, so I'm not as like ranty as I may have been at the time, but it was so good. I'm still not sure if this or Half-Blood Prince is my favorite. I don't know. It's debatable. I feel like again, I noticed some big differences they made in the movie. I already talked about my thing with Hedwig in my last wrap-up because I was getting off topic and I had already started this book. So anyway, I already talked about my issues with Hedwig, and that was very sad and upsetting. Obviously, I wept profusely when Dobby died. I just cried my whole way home because I knew it was about to happen, and then it happened, and then I didn't get over it for a while, and it was just so sad. But I liked Dobby's little last words in the movie or whatever, like such a beautiful place to be with friends or whatever it was he said. It was so sweet. But like listening to the book when he read the "Here lies Dobby, a free elf," I just like, any composure I had gained at that point was lost again. It was so sad. And then like everybody dying at the end, I just like, I don't know, it was just so, I mean not everybody died obviously, but it was a lot, okay? It was a lot. The next book I read this month was my reread of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I wish I could explain accurately what this is about. I'm gonna try, but it's really hard to explain. I already have referred to it as a paranormal dystopian, and that's what I see it as. It's a paranormal dystopian. It's kind of an alternate history, dystopian future version of London. In that future version of London, they're hunting down clairvoyants, like people with clairvoyant abilities. And there's all these different classifications of clairvoyant, and so people have all sorts of different powers, and Paige is the main character, and Paige is what's known as a jumper or a dream walker, meaning she can sense the dreamscapes of people around her. She can sense the people around her even if she can't see them. Her aura, her spirit or whatever, like leaves her body to venture out and find things out, I guess is what you could say. The explanation of her powers is a lot better in the book, obviously. It's very complicated and there's a lot to it, but anyway, people with these abilities are being hunted down and captured and pretty much just executed. So all the people who are clairvoyant have formed kind of this crime syndicate, this underground kind of mob world amongst the clairvoyants in London. The Paige is in one of these gangs that's really like highly, like they're really well known, even though nobody knows who they are. They have code names. See, it's really complicated. I'm always trying to explain this in a simple manner, and I always go off on these tangents because there's just so much to explain about everything. It's like one of the most complex plots I've ever read. Don't let that intimidate you. I swear it's really good. You just kind of have to like, you just have to read it. You just have to read it, okay? If you like paranormal type books or like urban fantasy, and if you like dystopian, if you like just fantasy, I mean, you'd probably like this book. Paige is an awesome character, and it's really cool, and there's all this conspiracy stuff, and there's all these different layers to it, and I think it's going to be 7 books. Only 3 of them are out right now, which is why I was rereading, because the 3rd one just came out. Sadly, I did not finish my reread of the 2nd one. It's a good book. I love it, and I'm gonna finish my reread and get to the 3rd one soon. The next book I read this month was Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I was really excited to read this. I did really like it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because it wasn't my favorite. It was a little different than I was expecting. I mean, it's about a world where people have fire power or ice power, or they're just human, and the people with the ice powers rule over everybody basically, and they're hunting down all the people with fire power, fire blood, whatever, sorry. They're hunting down all the fire bloods and killing them basically. So our main character is a fire blood whose mother gets killed and she kind of gets captured, but then she gets found by this group of people who are kind of trying to overthrow the Frostblood king. So there's that whole storyline, and then at one point she ends up captured by the king, and she's in these like gladiator games where she fights all these Frostblood champions of the kings. It's really good. It's really fast paced. It's really interesting. The romance aspect was a little weird for me. I mean, I liked it at first, but then it got different. I don't know. But it was really good. I really liked the main character. I really enjoyed it. It's good, it's fast paced, it's a good story. I'll probably read the next one. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I was really excited about it, and I just didn't really connect to it, I guess. I didn't really connect with any of the characters. There was just something missing for me. But I still really think it's a really good story. If the story sounds interesting to you, it's definitely worth a read. You might still connect with it more than I did. I wasn't feeling it for some reason, but I still really liked it. Like 3 stars is still good. So anyway, the next book I read was on my Kindle, so I don't have like a physical book. I have, you know, it was on my Kindle, which is like out of battery. But anyway, I read Fallen Too Far by Abby Glines. Is it Glines? Glines? Anyway, Fallen Too Far by Abby Glines. I thought I had read it a long time ago, but I guess I didn't. I just thought, I don't know what, I read something by her, but I don't remember what it was. But it was just, it's like a love story. This girl named Blair, her mom died, and so she goes to live with her estranged father, who had left her mother 5 years before. So she goes to live with him because she just doesn't really have anything, you know, she's 19, she doesn't know what to do, all this stuff's happening. You know, her mom just died, things are shitty, so she goes to live with him. Well, it turns out the address he gave her isn't really his, he's not there, it's his stepson, who's, you know, obviously like a really hot 24-year-old, because who else would he be? And so anyway, so obviously it's kind of like a awkward romance with her sort of stepbrother, which, I don't know, it is what it is. They don't know each other, they're just meeting. And anyway, it's a very angsty, very dramatic love story, and it was actually, I mean, it was good. You know, it's fluff. It's just something I wanted something I could read really quickly that I didn't have to think much about. But it was actually like really angsty, and there's this whole like family mystery, like beyond just the awkwardness of she's hooking up with her stepbrother. Beyond the awkwardness of that, there's a lot more going on, and it was actually kind of interesting. I didn't see it coming. The way they were kind of alluding to this big problem, because the stepbrother has other siblings from other parents. It's a very complicated family line, but it was very dramatic, and it was steamy and angsty and all the things. So if you like those kinds of books, it's a good one. It was fun to read. I read it pretty quick, and it was a good time. It actually, I didn't realize it was like a continuous series. Most of these things, like I knew it was part of a series, but most of these types of books, like the series is just set in like the same setting, like the same place, the same city, the same whatever, or it's like people who know that it's like this book is about this couple, and then the next book is about people who were like background characters to that couple, and so it's the, you know, it's not one of those. It's a continuous story, like the 2 main characters' story continues on into the next one. And I did start the next one because I was like, well, I can't just leave it like this. So I started the next one even though I knew it was going to happen, and once the things I knew were going to happen happened, and I didn't really have any more, oh, what's going to happen, I stopped reading. I don't know if I'll finish it or not, but you know, it was good, it was interesting, it was fun. Last book I finished, I don't have a physical copy of either. It was an audio book. I listened to Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick, and she narrates the book herself. So it was really fun. It's really fun. I loved her already, and now I love her even more. I really recommend listening to the audiobook if you want to read it. She's really funny, and it feels like you're just hanging out with her, and she's just telling you stories about her life, and so it's super fun. And she talks about like some behind the scenes kind of things of different movies she's been on, and she talks about the Oscars and other different award shows she's been at and kind of how that goes. And I don't know, it was just really fun, and she's really relatable and really funny, and I enjoy her humor, and she had some interesting stories to tell, and I didn't know how she got started, so it was fun to hear how she got started and everything, and kind of things actors go through before they make it, I guess. Yeah, it was really good. I recommend the audiobook. And now I can show you also, we have a special guest. We have a special guest because the reason I am on the floor and in a different room is because I can't bring this one into the book room because he will eat everything. Oh. This is Oliver. He's my new puppy. My husband surprised me on Saturday and brought Oliver home, and he's the cutest thing ever. He's 2 months old. He's a golden retriever. He likes to squirm and hit me in the face with his paws. You put your paws in my face. Look at the camera. I'm trying to share your cuteness with the world. But anyway, so if you've seen me like looking around during the video, it's because I was looking to make sure I knew what he was doing. But this is the only way I could figure out that he would not get into trouble and I could watch him and do my video. So anyway, this is the puppy, and he is so cute, and I loves him, and his name is Oliver. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my wrap-up. I, again, didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to. I'm gonna get more. I keep saying it. I mean, 5 books isn't bad. You know, five books isn't bad. But I want to read more. Oh, he's squirming. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about some books that I read. I'm sorry if I was a little distracted, and I'm sorry I look the way I look. I'm like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I can tell in the camera, so we'll see. Anyway, and okay, yeah, but I'll see you in my next video, and I promise I'll be more prepared, and I'm gonna figure out what to do with this one while I film. Bye-bye! Say bye-bye! 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 I'm so annoying. Bye!